Start here. Yep, those of you that have joined us haven't put anything in the chat yet. If you can put a hello or a good morning or something in there, Olivia, Nicole, and others. I've already said, I believe, good morning about everybody else. If I missed someone, good morning. Okay, I'm here at the high school. Okay, I swapped out the Christmas lights for some LED lights back here. And it's pretty quiet up here this morning. So, seems kind of weird, but, you know, such is life. Something popped up. A thing just popped up on my computer that some of you may be getting on your computers at some point. It's about the Adobe Flash Player. Now, for those that may not know what Flash is, going way back to the 1990s, when early web animation and later web video started taking off, the company Adobe came out with something called Flash. It started just for web animations and graphics and little animated things and stuff, or having text moving around or this and that. Eventually, it became also used for video on the web, and it was widely used for years. I mean, a lot of people would get the Flash player or the Flash plugin on their browsers. And then around the time the iPhone and then a few years later the iPad came out, Steve Jobs of Apple announced that we're not going to support Flash, which all the other companies thought, well, that's pretty radical because something like 70% of the web video was in the Flash format. And Apple said, no, it's too outdated. It causes all kind of problems and it's full of security problems. So they said, we're just not going to support it. We want everybody to move to newer types of formats and things. And at first, Adobe, it makes Flash, was upset. And a lot of other companies said, well, don't buy Apple, buy us because we support Flash. But then Apple turned out to be right. Within a couple of years, about everybody started dropping Flash. So now they're got to the point where Adobe officially ended Flash. So they don't want anything Flash out there anymore. So if you have, you might get a little warning popping up to uninstall a Flash player. So just thought I'd let you know that since they happen to come up. Okay, we're going to take a look here at what we're doing. We're down to our less than 2 weeks. Less than. That means 2 weeks from today, you're in a new class and a new semester. So it's going to go real fast here.
Mr. Rio.
Yeah?
Happy 2021.
Happy 2021. Thank you. Yep. Yep. We're in 2000. It takes a little use to writing that down, you know, writing it and things. I see this here says fall 2020. Well, that includes these 2 weeks too, of course.
Yeah, because then you always get used to 2020 or 2019, but then you're not quite used to the new year yet, but it takes some time.
It'll take a little time. Yeah, that's true. And then it'll seem probably more like a new year in 2 weeks when you're in new classes and a new semester. Now, last year, for those of you that are not freshmen, you may remember we finished the semester by Christmas. We started a little bit sooner in August, and that worked out pretty good, but that's for a normal year. For this year, I think this is fine. Okay, just first, I hope everyone read this here, the Welcome Back 2021. But I can't emphasize enough, it's going to go real fast. This week is fairly normal as far as our Zooms. Because of the hybrid conversion over to virtual, I'm required to do the Zoom 4 days a week. So I'll be doing it every day but Wednesday at 9:30 and noon. And because I have one virtual only and two hybrid computer lit classes, I just invite everybody to whichever one you want to go to, and I do record it. Now, what I'm going to do like normal, Monday, today, I consider an important day, go over important information, and Thursday. Tuesday and Friday, because there isn't a lot of things for me to go over, I'm just mainly going to talk about tech in the news. If there's got questions or problems, you can ask me. So it's going to be kind of like a combination of office hours or tech in the news type stuff. But Monday and Thursday will be the main days I focus on the assignments we're doing right now. Okay? And so that'll be this week. Now, next week, we'll do the regular Zooms on Monday and Tuesday. But then Thursday and Friday next week, even though we're not technically in class, are considered half days, and they're considered final exam days. So there probably won't be any Zoom sessions next week after Tuesday. But that's next week, not this week. So I'll have more information on that when we get closer to it. And our final exam will be a internet test, and you'll be able to use notes, so it'll be more like an assignment. So I'll have information on that next week. Okay, so So that's mainly this here. Now, I did talk about for assignments. On my end, with all the students I have and all the assignments I've given, I have over 4,000 slots in my Power School. So what does that mean to you? Well, say you turned in something from November 3rd, which I'd rather you turn in than not turn it in, and you don't tell me about it. The chance that I'm going to, at some point in the next week and a half or 2 weeks, go back to that assignment for November 3rd for you is about a 1 in 4,000 chance. Okay. Translation, I'm not going to go digging around for old assignments for everybody. Now I will for the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I'll be double checking all those. But if it's anything beyond, say, 2 weeks, make sure you send me a text or an email and say, Mr. Rio, check these assignments I turned in. And if I don't check them within 48 hours, feel free to remind me again in case somehow I missed your email or your text. Okay. And I'll do that. So we're going to be wrapping everything up. Looking over the grades yesterday, about 75% of the students are doing quite well, as expected in this class, getting E's and B's and stuff. About another 20% are getting anywhere from a low C to a D to an E, but not far from a D. And then about 5% are in some significant risk of not passing. I'm going to guess half of those probably will pull it off if they do enough work in the next 2 weeks. And I'm sure some of them won't, sadly. But whatever category you're in, make sure you do your best and you're in touch with me. And if you are doing well, if you're getting a B and you want to go for an A, go for it. I strongly encourage you to do that. And be in touch with me also as you turn in anything that's from before break. So that's what's going on with that. Our classwork for the week. Okay. This week we got, the big one is this right here. This is our internet questions, terms, whatever you want to call it. And this is a little bit different. Instead of me giving you a bunch of notes and having you make a slideshow or something like that, I decided to have you use the internet and use the web to do a little bit of research. So this assignment here, these are fairly basic questions relating to the web and the internet and that. And you can go look up information about. Now, when you start searching the web, some things you're going to find are going to be outright definitions. Okay. And I recommend looking at least 2 or 3 different definitions for, say, what the internet is or what the World Wide Web is. And then, probably picking one to primarily use. I do let you copy and paste, but I want you to modify the answers a little bit in your own words. So if you copy and paste a definition, maybe you get some parts from 2 different definitions, modify it a bit, add a little bit of your own wording to it, smooth it out a little bit. And of course, change the font so it doesn't look like a copy and paste. If it looks like you didn't put any thought or effort into it, then won't be worth full credit. So do give it a little bit of thought, think it through as to what is the internet, what is the, how does the internet work? That's a good one. Some of these I'm going to talk about on Thursday. So if you get stuck on any of these, Thursday is going to be our main day. I'm going to go over some of these and help you guys out a bit more. Okay, but between now and Thursday, get as many of these done as you can. And then on Thursday, we can go over and talk about some of these. What is a search engine, browsers, firewall, Wi-Fi? Now, a few of these may have come up in our original intro terms way back when we first started. Guys, a few of them overlap with this, not a big deal. You don't hear this term here much anymore, Web 2.0, but that was a big thing for years. Basically, everything interactive and social media, and that's all considered Web 2.0. And examples would be like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Some internet threats. Internet 2. Well, I bet many of you, maybe all of you, have not heard of Internet 2. What is Internet 2? Look it up. I put the web address here, internet2.edu. I'm sure there's lots of articles on that. So this is a chance for you to use the web to look things up, to try to learn about these. These are all important things you should be well aware of, especially if you're college bound. If you're college bound, you should know all of this quite well. Okay, if you're not college bound, it's still all important to understand. So that's going to be a big assignment for this week. Okay. That's why there's only 3, because this is almost like 2. Because if you do a good job on this, it'll probably take you an hour or so. So it's not that hard of a week. Now, this here, 23 jobs of the future. Now, these aren't necessarily all tech jobs. Many of them are. But originally I looked at some videos I was going to share just on tech jobs, but a lot of them were just real narrow. They were just like computer networking or web design or something like that. And this is a little more broader job fields, and a lot of them are tech related. And that's one of the things we want you to be aware of a little bit in here is, what are some of the job fields out there relating to tech or other areas? Because you're at age ranges now where you should be thinking about this. And another thing is, I get a lot of students who are incredibly unrealistic about their goals. For example, a student will say to me, Mr. Rio, I want to go into electrical engineering. Okay, great. Where are you in math? Oh, I took algebra, but I'm not going to take any more math. Okay, at the college level, electrical engineering, the minimum, and I don't even know where it goes beyond this because I'm not for sure, the minimum you have to take is calculus 1, 2, 3, and differential equations. Okay? So that means you have to do really well in math in high school. I mean, as good as you can possibly ever do. And that's just the start. And then you take, when you're a freshman, sophomore in high school, calculus 1, calculus 2, calculus 3, and differential equations. Then I'm sure it goes on beyond that. And that's really true at mechanical engineering, civil engineering, a lot of computer science degrees, all those type of fields. So some students are completely oblivious to what do I need to do that. Medical school. Okay, I won't go into all the criteria, but again, there's a lot of criteria and a lot of information you should be aware of. So if you start getting goals where you're looking into your future, that can help you. So that's why we do some of that in this class. Now, databases. We used to cover a program called Microsoft Access, which is a database program. Unfortunately, they don't make Access for the Mac. Okay. So instead of actually making a database, now you could use Excel for some types of primitive databases. In other words, some database-like things you can do, but it's not really a database program. So technically you could make a real simple database using Excel for some types of databases. But the reason I want you to be aware of a database is, number one, you should know what it is, okay, in the software world. And many of you, one way or the other in your futures, are going to work with a database. You're either going to be, on one end, you might be the person who creates the database or runs the database, or that's your job, and there's a lot of great jobs for people to do that type of stuff. On the other side, you just might be an employee that has to interact with a database. I'll give you one example, Amazon. When you go to Amazon's website, they plug into a massive, massive database. And that database has all their products and prices and information and how many they have left, which I'm always amazed that Amazon will have millions of people buying stuff all the time. I'll find a product and it says there's only 8 left. And I'll come back like 3 hours later and it'll still say there's only 8 left, and it'll be a popular product. So I'm guessing they say a lot of that just to get you to buy it. But either way, there's a huge database that plugs into that. So when you order something, you first of all, it keeps track of what you can order, like what is there, and how much is it in stock or not. And then when you do order, it has a database keep track of what you bought and your payments and information to ship it out to you and all that. That's all part of a database. If you have your own business, you'll probably want to have some type of database with your employees and your sales if you sell things. And with the employees, you have to set it up for like what's their last name and their first name and so on and so forth. So this is just a really, really brief introduction to database. There's 2 videos. They're both short. And there's a few things you do about it in the assignment. So that's it for this week. It's a fairly light week. Before this week, the only thing I haven't graded yet is the Excel test. And I'm going to get to those in probably the next day or 2. And that's like a post test. It's going to use it with your pre-test to get some data on what you learned about Excel. So if there's anyone out here who's not taken this yet, do take this in next day or 2. Okay. And again, you can use your notes, and with this online, we can use your notes. So everything else I did, everything else should be caught up for the grading up till that. Now, next week, there'll be a couple new assignments. There'll be the test on the internet, and that's it. Then we're done for the whole semester. So for the majority of you, you're basically caught up. You just got to knock out this week's assignments, and then next week we'll wrap up. For some of you, you're doing okay, but you definitely could do better. So you want to not only do the current assignments, but catch up some previous ones. And for a few people, maybe not ones that are here live right now, there definitely is going to be a fair amount to do, so. Okay, don't goof around in the chat. Okay, you want to say hello, that's okay, but to each other, but don't goof around there. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this week. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Did anybody get any cool new tech stuff this over the holidays?
Mr. Rio.
Yeah?
I did all those assignments that you told me to do.
Okay.
All those other ones.
Okay, did you send me a reminder in an email or a text?
Sometimes I would send you a email and Outlook, but you don't check sometimes.
I do check them. I usually reply, but well, either way, I'm going to be grading a lot the next day or two. So if you see something around Wednesday that hasn't been graded that needs to be graded, let me know. Okay.
Okay.
So, Brody, you got new sunglasses?
Yeah, and I got this Echo Dot too. The box right here.
Now the Echo Dot, it's a combination of a Bluetooth speaker, and then you can do all that kind of like ask it questions or tell it to play music and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my brother got one of those.
How do you like it so far? Is it working good?
Yeah, I can connect LED lights to it too, so I can like tell it to switch the color of the LED lights and stuff.
Oh wow, it's amazing how all those are. What you can do nowadays. I mean, this used to be stuff we'd hear about in a sci-fi movie, and now it's well, that includes our smartphones too. To the idea that we can do all that kind of stuff. So, well, that sounds pretty cool. Everyone else doing okay today? We got a little bit of snow. It feels a little bit like winter. Like I said, tomorrow, if you feel like popping in at this time, if there are questions, that's the first objective, but there's few, if any, questions. I'm just going to talk about some tech stuff in the news. So or you can share some questions about anything. It doesn't have to be just about the assignments. You got questions about careers. You got questions about, you think about buying something. We can talk about anything tech related. So, okay, well, that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to stop sharing this here. And, yep, if any of you, also I'm here today. So if you want to come in by 1:30 if you're going to come in. So if there's no one here at 1:30, I might leave after that. If you are here by 1:30, I'll probably stay, till at least 3:15 then. So, so I'll be here today. I'm planning to come in Wednesday. If you want to come in Wednesday, anybody, let me know. Tomorrow, probably not. Thursday, not sure. But if you're interested in coming in, just let me know, and I can let you know when I'm going to be here. Okay, well, everybody have a great day. If you got questions, you want to hang around and ask something separate after, I'll hang here for about a minute. But other than that, that's pretty much what I wanted to go over today. Thursday, I'll go over assignments again, and we'll go over that internet assignment if people need some help or questions on that. And tomorrow and Friday will just mainly be office hours, questions, and tech in the news type stuff. Okay? Okay, take care. Everyone have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Yep. Take care. Thanks for coming.